Good morning. It's Thursday, June 22nd. I've been playing around on freaking YouTube. It's 9:41 right now. It's late, so I'm going to try and muscle my way through this one. First things first, let's go to the Facebook group because I want to show you and I want to talk to you mofos because, yes, you did a great job in initially rating me. But there's a lot of people out there. I think we're up to like almost 400 ratings on Spotify. But there's a lot of people out there who haven't rated me. Now, Brian, look at that. 5 stars. 5 stars Brian rated me. So I want you to go to Spotify on your phone. And if you haven't rated the show 5 stars, I want you to do it. Brian, unfortunately, looks like he's been using Android, which you know your boy loves Apple. With this screenshot, it's Android, boo, but I own the stat stock as well. I'm just way more into Apple. I can't believe somebody likes an Android phone, but at least he rated my show 5 stars. So I want you to go to Spotify. I want you to do that. The other thing I want you to do is go to YouTube and hit subscribe. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Doesn't cost you anything. The other place I want you to go is the newsletter, dailystockpick.substack.com. And you can find all of these things on this link tree. It's linktr.ee/dailystockpick. That's simple. linktr.ee/dailystockpick. You can gift me with Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App on this link. All of the socials are up top. You can get $20 off your Visible phone service if you switch, 25% off a TrendSpider if you like it. All of this stuff, it's right there. So rate me, subscribe to all that stuff. Let's get that shit out of the way. Okay, now on to the markets. SPY. You know I bought Hibbs. I bought Hibbs at $3.99, and then I bought a second lot at $3.93. Looks like I timed the bottom a little bit well. It's at $4.15 today. That was my Tuesday buy. And the reason I did that, I started to see the button hook. This is SPY, HIBS. If you want to get into it, it is a triple levered bear ETF on the S&P. If you wanted to try the bigger one, which actually I did a little comparison here. This is SPXS. That's the bigger one, the more popular one. HIBS is less popular, and it's actually been underperforming SPXS. Boy, say that 10 times. But year to date, SPXS is down 34%. Hibbs is down 47%. Now, I am not holding these for a year. This is an absolute trade. Absolute trade. My goal is to get to $4.40. When it gets to $4.40, I will absolutely sell out of this one once it loses its confirmation. I will not sell out just because it gets to $4.40, but I will continually put a stop loss down from $4.40 and get out, just take my profits. But HBIS is one, and that button hook that you're seeing here where that 9 days moving down, the 21 days moving down, but that 200-day and that 50-day are still moving positive in the S&P. I just see a volume shelf down here at about 429, which we may hit. And then if we don't hit if we lose support on that one, you're going down to 421 on SPY. So that is why I bought HIBS. The other one that I bought, PayPal. I bought 100 shares yesterday at PayPal at $67.50, I believe. I'm losing money now. But I do think that you come back and you cover this gap at some point in time this year. Remember what I say. If you buy good companies with good earnings and good management with good products, they usually come back. This is one where the management is in question, but the most recent decision of the management to actually sell their buy now, pay later portion of their business so that they can actually fund a share buyback, I think that's what moved this from $60 up to $67. I'm not afraid of this one pulling back to 65. I do think that the volume shelf right here at about 64, little bit concerning that it hasn't hit this 69 and gone up here, but the majority of people are holding up here at 73. And that volume shelf is pulled back to about November of last year where it had a nice little run up. So those are the two reasons that I bought that. Now, yesterday we saw the chips, SOXS, it took a leg up. Here on the 4-hour, we still are in this at $12.21 in the algorithm. Hasn't gotten us out. So I think chips may go down. That, to me, is an interesting one. And I wanted to show you this chart. So what I did was I went to Seeking Alpha, and I looked at the PE. You can hit select metrics right here. Go over to charting, and you can hit select metrics. And I put in the PE. So it's PE GAAP. It's called the GAAP PE, which General Accounting Associated Practices or something. But I wanted to show you. See this line up here? That red line up there? That right there is NVIDIA's PE. It's at 228 right now. You look at it, people complain about the Tesla PE. It's at 80. Netflix is at 46. Meta is at 35. Apple is at 31. Google is at 27. The reason Google is down there is because as we move into AI, the thought is that search is probably at risk. So they're getting a little bit dinged on that. And as they're even if they were to win the AI race and to keep search, it costs more to search because of the computing power on AI. Even though their in-house AI Bard is unbelievable, and if you haven't used it, absolutely go and use it. But NVIDIA up at that 228, they're going to have to continue to grow to justify that one. That is why today, with this SOXS, if you just want to use it against the entire chip sector, that's one. But NVDS, which is the short on NVIDIA, be very careful with this. Just like TSLQ, we'll talk about shorting Tesla. People have lost billions of dollars betting against these companies. NVDS is 1.5 times bear ETF. It's a daily one. It does have a gap here. This is the gap earnings where you saw this one fall from 1423 down to 1090. Remember, these do not hold value. There is no value in these triple levered ETFs because all they do is trade derivatives on options. That's all they do in order to keep their levered basis. So there is no value in these. These are simply trades. There was a tweet right here from TrendSpider. QQQ, turnaround Thursday. Thursday has been the Nasdaq's best performing day of the week in 2023 by a long shot. 71% win rate, average rate of 0.75 return. Now, the Nasdaq is up 0.03. Everything was in the negative. All of a sudden, we open up and the Nasdaq is now positive. The S&P is down 0.18. The Dow is down 0.24. It's an interesting one. If the Nasdaq is to go positive today and you're to see that one shoot up, I think you could trade TQQQ. It's got a green candle right now. It opened up at 38.37, got all the way to 39.10. It's at 39.05 right now. I do think 40 is kind of a kind of magical number with TQQQ. So I don't know that I'd necessarily trade this today. Look at that RSI in no man's land at 56. That MACD is kind of crossing down. We did have a cross up of SQQQ the other day. I'd probably stay out of this one. But if you're daring, you want to do that, go and do it. Microsoft, or I'm sorry, let's do Amazon. Yesterday, Amazon was sued by the FTC for their Prime membership issues. They're saying that they dupe customers into signing up for Prime. I don't know what the F is up with this administration, but that FTC is overbearing, to say, like, in mild terms. I mean, between Activision and Microsoft, between this one, they absolutely do not want big tech getting bigger. And that is the reason, by the way, when you look at AI, these guys like Google, like Microsoft, like Apple, like Amazon, all of those guys will spend billions of dollars to actually develop in-house AI. They will give money to ChatGPT and OpenAI. They will give them money in order to, rather than buying them. because there's no way that would ever go through. But here, Amazon, I think anything under 120 is a fantastic buy. I think this one's going back to 130 right now. It is up. It is getting back everything that it lost yesterday with just that thread. We talk about this a lot. The weekly. This is a weekly chart. I said anything about 105, 106. I don't know that you get back there. Amazon's a great company with good products, with good earnings, and good management. The management kind of in question. Andy Jassy took over from Jeff Bezos. Hasn't been as good as Bezos was as far as strategy and things. They hired too much. Amazon does not have a demand problem. They have a cost problem, and they're going to cut it back. They got in the union fight with some people wanting unions. And by the way, ironically, I'm not anti-union, but I'm kind of not pro-union either. There's certain good unions, but the majority of unions are just created by people who are just disgruntled employees, not necessarily doing any good. And I will give you my personal, and this is my personal experience with a union. I was a 16-year-old cashier at an A&P in New Jersey at your grocery store. And I worked maybe about 10 hours a week because I was a high school student. I didn't want to work, 50 hours a week, 40 hours a week. Well, the union basically said, hey, you're going to need to pay us, I think it was $25 a week. And mind you, I was only making maybe $50 a week. It was $25 a month. And I was making about $200 a month. So they were taking 10% of my actual earnings. I was paying the same price as everybody else. I'm just not, and they did nothing for me. It wasn't like they were protecting my job. What they were doing was fighting against self-checkout at that time. Yeah, fight against self-checkout. Why not, educate your employees, as a union? Let's get some education so that people who are cashiers could actually program the self-checkout. Or fix the self-checkout, or do some type of, other skill level. So, I have a problem with unions, and that's the reason. And if you love unions, if you're a union guy, I have no problem with you because there are good unions out there. But Amazon doesn't really need a union in my mind. So, just my thought. But they got caught up in that. And the FTC is now suing them over their Prime membership. I think it's a little bit ridiculous. But yeah. So let's talk about Mara. Lovely Mara. Mara, this is a cryptocurrency miner. And I said yesterday, hey, 1270 is kind of a sticking point. I would probably sell it to 1270. You got this gap right here between 1179. I think if you break 12 today, it's at 1222. It's kind of hovering flat. It's 0.08. It's up just slightly. I think if you break $12 today, I think you take your profits. It could go to 15. I'm not saying that it won't, but with that RSI at 75, with the MACD kind of just flying upwards, I think you take your profits. What worries me about this is when we pull this, when I pull this a little forward, this volume slider, and we pull it back to where the descending triangle actually begins. There's not a lot of volume up here. The majority of the volume is down here at $10. That's why I said $10 is your signal. $10 remains the signal. Again, there hasn't been a lot of volume added at these levels. So I'm slightly concerned at that one. I might take my profits. It depends on how you identified this. Some people have said, hey, Bitcoin's only at $30,000. It went all the way up on almost to $80,000. So Mara could be a $24 stock. If Bitcoin continues to go that way and you see some stuff, yeah. But FYI news, Bitcoin's back at 30,000. Let's talk about, I have a note. Bitcoin back above 30K. BlackRock's new Bitcoin ETF looks positive, and a new exchange backed by big money. Both of those things were huge for crypto. Adam from Facebook wants me to look at TECK. I think this is the decking flooring. This is like the forever decking flooring that you see. Right now, from a algorithm standpoint, it's right at the 200-day. It's gotten you out with a loss. This one, the algorithm underperforms. Performance chart. The algorithm makes you 8.6% with 28% positions. But if you just bought and held 2 years ago, you're up 83%. So the chart doesn't inspire me from a, hey, let's buy it now, just because I do think that I think anytime you get under this 200-day, I think with a good company like this, you could absolutely get back in. Just matters where you want to get back in. But from a long-term standpoint, look at that weekly. This is COVID back here at $7. And you've still got the momentum forward. You had this golden cross here. There's a lot of volume support level up here, so I'm not worried about it kind of falling back to this level at 30. Let's look at some of my guess is that it's kind of expensive. It is PE at 7, forward PE at 6, not crazy expensive. Income of $2.79 billion. Its market cap is $22 billion. Got a dividend of about 1%. It's up 10% on the year. I mean, this is a new lumber company. I mean, let's talk about it that way. The average target price is $68.59. You're trading at 40. Now, downgrade, National Bank Financial, April. It also got an upgrade from B. Riley to neutral. There hasn't been a price target since September where people were saying 51. I'm not sure of that one. Let's see. No insiders do anything. So am I excited about it? Nah. I mean, do I love the product? Yes. Absolutely love the product. But when you look at basic materials, I mean, the PE, it's not a crazy PE. It's just kind of average, maybe a little bit higher. You can see this PE Alamos Gold at 37. This PE Air Products and Chemicals at 21. So if we look at just PE from a bottom up, they're kind of in the middle. The high ones are super high, but the low ones are at 1 or 2. So, Arch Resources, Basic Materials, that's a coal company at 1.94. CN Energy Group. So I'm not particularly in love with this. If you use the product and you love the product and you think other people will, get it. And I do know that they have a ton of orders. I saw their CEO speak. And I do know that they have a ton of orders. Sean from Facebook wants me to look at Endeavor. I think Endeavor is the one. Let me just make sure. I think this is the entertainment company that bought WWF when Vince McMahon looked like a 1960s pedophile magician with his freaking mustache and Grecian formula hair on CNBC. I think this is the one. Let me see. Endeavor operates entertainment sports. Yep, this is the one. Ultimate Fighting Championship, professional bullfighters. Yeah, they've had some insider sales here at about 25, it looks like. Some pretty big. The CEO was selling about, 15 million? For these guys, it's not a lot of money. President sold about 10 million bucks here at 22. So 22 to 25 seems like where they're going to support the stock. It's at 22 today. If you want it at 25, it's down 1% year to date. They are not making money. Their income they lost $182 million. The WWF does make money. So I do know that they make a tremendous amount of money. Their TV ratings are huge. May 1st initiated Guggenheim with a $33 price target. Most of the two from this year have a $30 and $33 price target. So I don't think it's horrible. If you watch the WWE, if you watch Ultimate Fighting, if you watch that stuff, maybe you want to put some money into it. Personally, I'm not backing up the Brinks truck on this one. I think it's a $22 stock that might get to 30. You can see with the hype of buying WWE in April, that's probably what pushed it to 25. I think I'm seeing the double top right here at about 25, 26. So I do think that you're limited as far as your top goes. And if we go long-term, a weekly, it's a newer company, so it doesn't have a 200-day, but the 50 days negative, the 9 days negative, the 21 days negative. And overall, it's just a negative stock. Here back in December of 2021, before last year, it was a $35 stock. I think you've got a cap of 30. So, Sean, hopefully that one works for you. Evan wants me to look at Axon. AXON. They make tasers. On May 11th, JP Morgan said, buy this after the slide of 15%. The taser maker slid 15% on Wednesday. This is from May 11th. On Wednesday, after reporting some disappointing total gross margin figures, even as it otherwise beat analyst expectations. So that was May 11th. That's back here. As far as the algorithm goes, you're in at 195. You're trading at 196. So that 195 happened on May 26th. It's been a month. You're trading at the same price. Am I excited by this? Probably not. If we look at a long term, I think it's had its run, and it's still on its run. The 50-day is still positive. The 200-day is still positive. The 9 and the 21 are just kind of capitulating here at 200. If we go over here and look at FinViz, it's got a market cap of $14 billion. It's in the S&P 500. It's up 17% year to date. The average target price is 241. So I think that would be your top. It's going to have problems getting up over 200. I think it's been shown that getting over to the multiple top here is at 220. So I think that's your cap. I think 10% is your cap. You're 15% below your 52-week high of 229. You're 134% above your 52-week low. So May 11th, they came out, JP Morgan, $236 price target. That's when they said, hey, you should buy this when it's 15% down. Now, when it was 15% down, you were down here around 185. It's not horrible. Is that a support? Probably. Am I excited by it? I think it's got a cap. When you look at insiders, they're selling, and the director bought $2 million worth at 190. So I think 190 is your bottom. This guy, a director, this same dude bought $2 million at 200. So I think 190 to 200 is probably your range that you want to get in there if you want to be with the directors. That's where they're going to manage it to. Just watch it, because again, with tasers, I'm not 100% sure that that's a huge business. I think it's easy to get into, and I think they might have some contracts with some police departments and stuff. Tesla was downgraded by the biggest bull on the street, Adam Jonas. And the only reason he downgraded, it's run too much. That's it. Now, I will tell you, it takes cojones, balls of steel, to actually short this one. There has been an enormous amount of people with an enormous amount of money that they have lost on shorting Tesla. If you wanted to go with Adam Jonas and you think that this one's going to pull back to its 200-day of about $200, then TSLQ, I think TSLQ and TSLI, there's a couple of them, but TSLQ is the bear. This one had a cross up here at 33.05. It's got a gap up here at 35. So you could make your 10%. Is it TSLI? TSLS, 1 times share. That's another one. TSLQ, I think, is the biggest one. That's all I see. TSLL is the bull, 1.5 share. Long, innovative, yeah. I see TSLQ as the one you want to trade. Let's look at the other one, TSL. I think it's TSLS, 1 times share. TSLS is a different one. And this one has a cross up too at 2027. And you got the same gap. I mean, they're kind of trading in line. So if you feel like doing it, might be interesting. Maybe I'll buy that, because Tesla has run a lot. And we talked about earlier, we talked about this one with NVIDIA, but look at where Tesla is. I mean, that's no joke that it's up at 80, 76 with its PE. That's extended. So at some point in time, you pull back. Just if you're going to short that one, keep your stop losses tight. For EV drivers, if you know this, Rivian bought a better route planner. Most EV owners know about this. It's an app. I think it's got 8 employees. It's a Swiss company, I think, but Rivian bought it. So Rivian, interesting move by the company to buy a better route planner, which basically enhances their map operation. gives them access to chargers, gives them a complete jump. If you know about mapping in an EV, it's crucial because you need to map to chargers. And I think that's where Rivian was lagging behind Tesla. Tesla will lead you to their chargers with the charging information. A better route planner actually has the information for Tesla chargers through the API. So I think, Rivian said, hey, rather than build it, let's just buy it. So if you are going to short Tesla, remember NVIDIA. I mean, those are the two that I would probably, if you're going to short, buy the ETFs. NVDS. I have a note, NVDS. And speaking of shorting, let's look at Target. Target is one that your boy owns quite a bit of at about $111. It's kind of capitulating here. It's putting in it's kind of, bottom here at about 132, 130, got down to 125 was the low here on June 12th. I think Karens have started to show up and shop back at Target. That's just my personal opinion. But Bud, which is another social media in the crew, this one got an upgrade, and they said, yeah, it's probably time that it gets back. You're up here at 57. This one has been beaten down. I mean, let's look at the weekly on Bud. Their difference is that it's just bad beer. I mean, Target's a good store. Bud's just bad beer. So if you like America, if you like, red-blooded trucks and you like that stuff, buy Bud. It's a good company. I looked up NGL because this is one that congressmen have been buying. And I said, let me look at this one because it's been on quite a run. I mean, you're talking back December, $1.13. You're at $3.93. And all the while, congressmen have been buying this because it's a pipeline company, NGL. They're making money. I don't know do they have a big dividend? I don't think they have a big dividend when I looked at them last night. No, they don't have any dividend. They're losing $73 million, but it's a pipeline company. They will make money with the infrastructure bill and some of the deal that McCarthy just struck with Biden. This is going to do well. And that's why they were buying this one. That's 100% why they were buying this one. It's got a MACD cross down. Here's what I found. I found these Kramer quotes. And it's not just on NGL, but I found these other ones as well. Kramer also said he loves NGL. And I'd be a little bit scared because he said he loves it. He thinks it's one of those logistic companies that just moves fuel. And it does. I mean, they're going to move fuel. He also said he likes GE Healthcare. And when we were looking at HIBs the other day, I said GE Healthcare, I think it does come back up here. It's close to 80. I'd get it under 80. It's at 79.97 right now. I think it's going to make that slow climb and come back up to this 86 level. That's a nice 10% move from 79. So, if you get back up there, I think it's a good move. He says GE Healthcare, screaming buy right now, adding that if there are indeed more elective surgeries, there's going to be more need for MRIs. And GE Healthcare makes the MRI machines. He also brought up Enphase. He said, I happen to think that home solar equipment is here to stay, and you're getting a terrific opportunity to buy this stock at a lower price. I got to admit, I think it's this. I think the same thing, but it still hasn't reached a bottom. And that's my issue. Right now, it's using this 151 probably as the bottom support level here. So if you wanted to buy at 158, I don't think you're doing yourself any disfavor. It has not been at that 200-day since what? $4.60 back here in 2018. If you had the chance to buy this at $4.75, because it was at the 200-day, do you care? Say you bought at 6 and it went back to 4. You lost what, 30%? Do you care about that? Because it's at 158 right now. Say you didn't sell at this 342. This is kind of the same thing. Say you buy at 155 and then all of a sudden it comes down here to 100. It's one of those companies that's good products with good management. And if we go over here to FinViz, you can see it's got $492 million in sales. The PE is a bit stretched. The forward PE is not super stretched. It's not. It's down 40% this year. Look at that channel right there. If you were to put this channel into that, let's just go to a daily. We'll go to a daily. And we'll put that channel that FinViz has in there. And we'll go from the highs down to the lows down there. And we're going to hit 3 on the bottom as well. You're still not down at your bottom. You're only halfway there. So I do see if we pull this support level, this volume back here, back to kind of where the highs really started. You can see we just have no support level down here. None. Let's pull it back here. Let me pull it back a little bit more just so we get some volume down there. We're going to go, I'm going to go back here. We're going to go back to May 2021 when it was selling at about 112. Do we have people holding at 112? Nope. Let me pull it back. It's going to pump me forward, I think. Yeah, it only pulls it back to July of 2021. So are there people holding down here? No, they've sold out. You've got the support level here between 160 and 170. Will more people buy? I think absolutely. I like it too. Let's talk about some of the scans. Finally, an energy name got a cross up. And it's probably losing. It's losing today. Yeah, it's down 0.71. 25.21 was the buy. And that's right where you're trading. On Venom. I call it Venom. It is Viper Energy. VNOM. This has been on a run. If we look at a long term, again, energy names have just been horrible. This one is just kind of putting in capitulation here. Does it have 43 back in the tank? You're going to, like back in 2018, I don't know. I mean, again, energy is getting easier to drill for, but I want to talk about the next two because this was why I bought Hibbs. SPXU, it's down a little bit today. Got a cross up here at 1114. Right now, all of the indexes are positive. So I think Hibbs is at 408. Yeah, it was at 411. But everything turned positive. I mean, shit. You can't pull this market down. Even Tesla's back to even. So the market is super, super strong, except for materials like Cleveland Cliffs, Boeing, which got has a potential strike with their aero systems. Pan W, completely coming back. PXD, which is energy, down under 200. But SPXU, cross up. At some point in time, these things take off, and we get the ding down. SDS, another ultra pro short on the S&P 500. We had 3 cross ups: Viper Energy, SPXU, and SDS. Those are the only 3. So what am I going to buy today? I don't know. I mean, TQQQ might have been the right buy because that one right now, remember we were looking at it, it was down. It's up 2%. Quick 2% you could have made. I mean, here, it opened at 38.37. You're at 39.55. I think you're screaming past 40. So there's your podcast. Remember, we went over the Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. Go and rate on Spotify. It's easy. Just do the 5 stars like Brian did. And if you have Visible, if you're upset with your phone service, the second link is Visible. Get $5 off on the Linktree. It's right down there. If you like the charts that I have, buy it. I'm going to trade on YouTube right now. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Have fun. Enjoy.